Lately, it feels like everyone you know is being diagnosed with ADHD. Your feed, your friends, your co-workers, maybe even you. It's become a punchline online, but it's also a real, well-studied condition. So did our brains suddenly change, or did something else? Because the numbers really did jump, and the reason is genuinely interesting. Let's look at what actually changed. By 2022, about 11% of American kids had been diagnosed with ADHD. That's not a small, rare group anymore. It's a classroom-sized share. That's around 1 in 9 children, over 7 million kids. Just a few years earlier, it was closer to 1 in 10. Among teenagers, the figure climbs to more than 1 in 7. And for the first time, adults are being diagnosed in large numbers too. For years, adults were simply told they'd have grown out of it by now. But a rise in diagnoses doesn't mean a new disease appeared. ADHD is real, and doctors have described it under different names for over a century. What changed isn't the condition, it's who gets counted. And 3 big things shifted at once. First, the definition itself moved. In 2013, psychiatry's official manual updated its criteria for ADHD. Crucially, there's no blood test or brain scan that confirms ADHD. It raised the age your symptoms had to start from 7 to 12. And for adults, it lowered the number of symptoms you needed to qualify. So that checklist doesn't just describe the disorder, it draws its borders. Overnight, millions of adults who'd struggled quietly now fit the definition. Second, we finally started seeing the people we'd been missing. For decades, the picture of ADHD was basically one thing: a hyperactive little boy. Girls with the quieter kind were often called daydreamers or told to try harder. But for many people, ADHD looks like quiet daydreaming, not bouncing off the walls. That quieter kind was missed for years, especially in girls. On average, girls and women are diagnosed years later than boys, if at all. Many only got answers as adults, sometimes after their own kids were diagnosed. Now millions are recognizing those symptoms in themselves online. Third, getting evaluated got dramatically easier. When the pandemic hit, rules loosened and evaluations moved online. A single viral video could now send thousands of people to get screened. Prescriptions for ADHD medication surged in the years that followed. The steepest rise was among young women, a group long overlooked. And some online startups turned a diagnosis into a few quick clicks. Demand rose so fast that by 2022 the medications started running short. So which is it, a real reckoning or a bubble of overdiagnosis? The honest answer is that it's probably a bit of both. The medications are genuinely effective and genuinely controlled substances. Wider access genuinely helps people who suffered for years without answers. But quick, profit-driven online clinics also raise real questions about rigor. So access and caution keep pulling in opposite directions. Underdiagnosis and overdiagnosis can be happening at the same time. So no, a generation of brains didn't suddenly break. The definition widened, the lens sharpened, and the door swung open. For many, a diagnosis finally brings relief, language, and real support. A lot of people who always had it are finally being seen. If any of this sounds like you, this isn't a diagnosis. It's a reason to ask a professional. The ADHD boom isn't an epidemic, it's recognition catching up.